after he gets out, and no baby oil is involved yet. We will explain. Plus, Britney Spears' ex, K-Fed, is dropping a memoir, but do we care?
And did Doechii fans go mute when she performed one of her biggest hits? And who's to blame for no more BET or Soul Train Music Awards? We're going to dive into that and so much more. Welcome to Side Dish.
All right. What's up, guys? You know what it is. Here at Side Dish, we're more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We're the whole meal. I hope you're hungry.
Oh, yeah, y'all should be starved and famished because we on the second half of 48 Hour Friday. Happy Friday to you, and you. And shout out to everybody in the chat who keeps this thing going and be just talking crazy. We love to see it. We really do. Man, you feeling good?
Oh, pretty good. I got good sleep last night. I slept in a little bit. I may or may not take a nap between shows today. We'll see. We'll see.
I can almost say that nap is guaranteed. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, it's time for some Feed Me. Did you ever wonder what happened to the kids you went to school with that would eat glue, taste their own boogers, or scratch their butt and smell it?
Oh, God.
Well, here he is. And little warning, cautionary tale, you might feel ill. Check it out.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now,
what is he?
You can save £50 per person.
What's he doing?
That's £200.
What's he?
Nothing beats a Jet 2
He's licking
holiday.
and touching everything?
We can't
Right
touch, we
now,
can't do nothing.
You can save 50.
Like, I don't know what's wrong with the people. Like, he literally was licking and touching everything and, like, yo, man, like nothing is safe.
These people, I feel like these people have some sort of like mental issue. I feel like this isn't like your average, I'm kind of creepy or I'm kind of freaky. This like the compulsion to lick things.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And I can't even really truly understand it with children because I wasn't one of those kids.
Right.
I was one of those kids in school when glue got on, like I wouldn't let glue get on my hands. I just wouldn't.
Oh.
I was one of those kids. I thought like, nah, like I want to be fresh.
Oh, I definitely did the glue thing where you put the glue all over your hands and you let it dry and you peel it off and it's like, I was a gross kid like that for sure.
Weirdly enough, as an adult, I would do it.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I wasn't that person. So either you start out not being that person and you graduate to that person. I mean, I would never graduate to the levels of what he did, but I don't know, man, like, I don't know what the true answer is. I don't know if you should like get a whole group of people that just ain't like following the rules of life and society and mulch them or what. I don't know what the answer is.
Here's the thing that's so crazy to me, HK, is these people, they walk among us. They walk among us. Feet people walk among us. And like, here's the thing. I'll let feet people have their thing. Like, have your thing, toe people, feet people, people who want to see other people's feet, people who visit celebrityfeet.com, that whatever. If that's your thing, that can be your thing, okay?
Right.
And then we enter other layers. Like, I saw this thing one time. This girl went viral on Twitter. This is back when it was Twitter, so this is a long time ago. And her thing, this is what I'm about to say is really disgusting, and I'm sorry about this, but she would take photos of herself on airplanes in the lavatory licking the seat.
Oh. I mean,
they walk among us. That's not too different than what this guy's doing. What is he doing?
Right, and what you said was gross.
Yeah.
I'm repulsed by it. However, a person that would also do that, if you meet that person, there's not too much that's not on the menu with that person in a horizontal position. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
What about this man? I wonder if there's someone out there watching right now who like saw this video and they're like, ooh, yeah. Like, is that like a term? I also bet he didn't know, there's no way he knew he was being filmed. Does he do this in groups?
Right.
Is there a Facebook group for like people who lick things in public?
And what would we call said group? The city lickers.
No, not the city lickers. Oh, gross. All right.
You gross humans, stay away from me.
Yeah, speaking of humans with interesting habits, Diddy, his lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, sat down for a new interview with CBS Mornings and spoke about what Diddy wants people to know after his trial and also his plans for after he's released. So check this out.
But I think the most demanding and challenging thing in front of him right now is to get back with his kids and get back with his mother and the people who love him and miss him.
So he's talked to you about getting back into music if he's released, if he's free?
No. Honestly, he has not.
Okay.
One thing he said he's going to be back in Madison Square Garden.
He said that?
He did. He said to me he's going to be back in Madison Square Garden.
Doing what?
I guess being on stage. You know? I mean, and I said I'll be there.
Doing what?
Yo, the speed and surgical precision in which she delivered that line was just perfecto.
Yeah, Diddy forever getting the side eye from all women for the rest of his life. This feels like two things for me. It feels like two things. It still feels like PR.
Okay.
He wants to get back with his kids. He wants to get back with his mother. That's his only focus in life. He doesn't care about anything else. That's portraying him to be a good, upstanding citizen. And I'm sure at this point that is his number one.
Yeah.
But then that number two, he wants to be back in Madison Square Garden. We have not crushed the ego of the man known as Puff Daddy.
Yeah, I think, there's always kind of like a boxer, right?
Yeah.
You always got to punch his chance.
Right.
I think, guys like that who have been to the top, they always feel like, yo, one more shot, I got it.
I could do it again.
To everybody in the chat, what would you rather see Diddy do live at Madison Square Garden?
Oh, no.
His favorite songs or his, take the seat that he took during those FOs?
No.
Just imagine, in front of, Madison Square Garden. That would be the first time that's ever been done. And you don't even have the extra people. It's just Diddy and his sponsor, Johnson & Johnson, you know what I'm saying, taking matters into their own hands. No pun intended.
The Take That Tour?
Yeah.
Take That Tour 2028, 2030. Yeah, it's weird. I feel like it's interesting, man, because, so much of being a celebrity is dependent upon a certain amount of the general population or having a large enough fan base that it doesn't matter if you do something wrong. They'll still ride for you. They'll still come for you. And then the banks and all the other big corporate entities still have to think that there's enough money in you that they can associate within themselves with you and still make deals. Live Nation, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I do wonder about his ability once he's out, because remember, he was not convicted on RICO. He's not convicted on he was not convicted on rape. He was not convicted on anything. The only thing he was convicted on, if we threw the other things out of the trial, and Diddy was only ever on trial for transportation for prostitution, we would have laughed that right off.
Yeah.
And he would have got out immediately, and he would have dropped a song by the end of this year. But it's the other things that came out in the trial,
Yeah, I think even still the song thing, it's a long, winding road for him to come back. Because even people who have gotten in no trouble, been not problematic at all, like a T-Pain, they changed the locks on T-Pain for no reason. And T-Pain's still out here will surprise you on a remix or something and still be dope. And he's still having, not saying a tough climb at it because he's found other ways to make his money, but Diddy put out a whole R&B album that people talked about for 2 days and then moved on because then the trial stuff came. So I think and I don't even know if the remaining living Bad Boy members would even
associate at this point. It's just too much, too far.
Yeah, the locks ain't coming out to do All About the Benjamins.
Also, if I'm Diddy, I'm just thinking now, if I'm Diddy, and I don't know what his savings is like, I don't know what his portfolio is like, but I'm also one of those people who it's I think if I was somebody like a Diddy, or even think about some of these other giant A-list stars, at a certain point, what else do you need? At a certain point, what else do you want? Go live on the island, go retire, spend the rest of your life in anonymity, doing whatever, relative anonymity, doing whatever you want.
But I think with certain people, when they've been famous as long as you've been, like Diddy. Diddy has been famous since he's been right out of his teenage years. It's hard to go back to being a civilian.
Yeah.
If this is all you know, being that guy, being that person that everybody wanted to be
occupy
around.
that space.
Yeah.
That's
I think
interesting.
he'll have a circle. It's just going to be a different circle than we're used to seeing him with, I think.
For sure.
So we'll see, man. Y'all going to go see Diddy? And what would you go see him do?
Oh.
Kevin Federline, he's set to release his memoir titled You Thought You Knew on October 21st, and he says, this book is extremely intimate and transparent. I achieved my biggest dreams, dealt with crushing heartbreak, and endured constant ridicule, all while becoming the father my children needed as they experienced nonstop emotional turbulence. And if you ever had questions, you'll find the answers here. And yes, he will be airing out his relationship with Britney Spears in his book, so that's going to be interesting too.
Man, okay. I have mixed feelings about this. First off, everyone's entitled to release their side of the story, all right? For sure. But it's I've achieved my biggest dreams. What was that?
Probably to smash Britney Spears.
That was a big dream there in the early aughts. Like that was also one of my dreams. I didn't accomplish that. But my thing is like, this is just scandal. Because it's not like, what are we going to K-Fed for? The secrets of his internet stardom? The secrets of his entertainment industry success? Is it how he launched these shows? Or what was his creative process for dropping all his albums? Or even his sick 5, 6, 7, 8? Like, we don't even know him as like a choreographer. Like, what is this?
I think it's to learn how to win relationship Squid Game, which he did. How often do people get into a situation where you become because he didn't marry Britney Spears.
I don't think they ever got married.
They just had a baby.
Yeah.
He ended up pretty much getting the kids.
Yep.
He now is a stay-at-home dad.
People forget, and it was that whole Free Britney movement. The court gave those kids to him, and they don't do that very lightly unless they really thought it was necessary.
Sometimes you just gotta show up to court as a man. Because I'm a person who I had custody of my oldest from the time he was 3, and nothing against, my son's mother, but it was just like, I felt like I was in a better position to give him the tutelage that he needed, at that point in life. And I got a lawyer, did the follow through, showed up. And it doesn't mean that because you don't have your kid that you're not a good parent or you're a bad person, but for whatever reason, what was going on in that life, I think K-Fed having the kids allowed Britney to be the best or worst Britney that Britney could possibly
there's
be.
An argument for that.
Or maybe that her environment wasn't conducive to having kids because she was still at the top of her game low-key during that time, but even the pressure of that probably made her short circuit.
Well, I think that's right around the era we're talking about shaved head, umbrella through the car window Britney is through here. But it is interesting, like, what is I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, who's buying this?
The book?
Yeah. What legion of K-Fed fans? Who is knocking down his door talking about we need the deets?
What we ain't gonna do inside this is talk down on the K-Federation.
Is that what it's called?
Nah, I just made that up.
Not the K-Fellowship? Yeah. Wow, the K-Federation. I bet he does have a name for him. And I'm not hating on him. Really, I just like one of those things, like, think about it. Like, the most scandalous thing we know about K-Fed is that him and Britney had kids, and then he backed out of the whole situation. And it's like he hasn't, to my knowledge, been in any trouble since then.
Nah, even Shaw Jackson, from my knowledge, doesn't have anything bad to say about this man. Like, and Shaw, cool. Yeah. I mean, she was mad that he left her, but she got over that.
Yeah.
I think she even knew what it was. It's like, I get it.
Evidently, so just a quick little backstory here, a little tidbit. Evidently, the last child support check for around $40,000 was in November of last year, and so I do think this is the. All right, I'm gonna tell you my story now.
Oh yeah, he probably started writing that book in October of last year, just because he saw it coming.
I'd like, maybe he needs a podcast where he talks to other famous ex-boyfriends.
Yo, if he had a podcast where he only interviewed like
Chris Humphries.
Yeah, like guys who were like in the rebound,
the sideman kind of thing. Like, I was a stay-at-home dad for my famous ex-girlfriend.
I hate most people's podcasts, but I would listen to that one for an episode or two.
In there.
Hell yeah,
there would be. All right, moving on. Doechii was recently on stage, and it appears the crowd was not really feeling her when she was performing her single Anxiety. Take a look.
Rolling Anxiety in 3, 2,
Sing it.
1.
Anxiety, keep on trying me. I feel it quietly, trying to silence me. Yeah. Anxiety, shake it over me. Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety.
Is that Lollapalooza? It looks like.
I'm not sure what that is. That could be Lollapalooza.
I mean, the crowd was, light bulb colored, largely.
Yeah.
Right?
Whose cousin? Yeah, my cousin.
And they were like, "Where's Doechii?"
Yeah.
when they heard that song come on, they thought they was gonna hear somebody I used to know, and they're like, "Who this woman?"
You didn't have to cut me. Wait a minute, what song is this? Yeah, it's interesting. Also, I'm just like, just to play devil's advocate, like, you're not moshing to Anxiety.
Nah.
You're not jumping around and banging your head to anxiety, you know?
You don't get dirty to that one.
No.
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It's a good song.
And what we're not gonna do is slander Doechii because
Absolutely
we know
not.
the damage she does on a stage. Sometimes the artist isn't always a good mix or match for the crowd that they're performing in front of.
Also, the other thing is like the video itself. I like because we had good audio of her, but like I know you could hear the crowd. Like the video makes it sound like the crowd is just there silent, staring at the stage, like they don't know who she is.
Yeah.
That's not true. There wouldn't be that many of them there.
Yeah, that was feeding straight into the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you keep doing your thing, Doechii. We see you. You're heard. You're heard. And then you can, and like if you turn it up, like all the way up on your phone, and then put it to your ear like this, you could hear people in the crowd.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just they didn't have that good, soundboard mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one place that I was looking forward to seeing her at, and it's not gonna happen now, is BET's Hip Hop Awards.
Oh.
They officially hit pause on two of its most iconic shows. That's the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. Now, both award shows have reportedly been suspended indefinitely, according to the network.
Wow.
BET CEO Scott Mills confirmed the news in a statement to Billboard, saying, "We have a team that's actively thinking about where those award shows might best live, and as the media climate continues to evolve, they aren't gone, and it's less about them no longer being and more about them having to reimagine them for this changing media landscape that we find ourselves in. And this might have started on linear television, but now we might have to move it to another space." And some say it's like the money, it's the budgets. Other people say it's the lack of big stars supporting the actual awards or attending. Like, have you ever paid attention to either of those?
You know what? They haven't. Not specifically. I would argue. I mean, the Soul Train Awards and the BET Awards, they're not necessarily like aimed at me.
I get it.
I definitely appreciate them, but here's what I will say, and this goes back to a conversation I used to have with an executive producer of an old talk show up to a decade ago, and that is, we know that all award shows, not just under BET's content calendar, but all award shows viewership is down.
Yeah.
And it's been down year over year. And so I think it says less about BET as a network or who those shows are for, and more about how we consume that kind of media. And one of the things that this guy used to talk about is like, think about it. When you tune into an award show, maybe you're interested in like half or a third of the awards, and they drag on, they feel a little long and whatnot, and like just the ratings have been going down. They'll try to bump the ratings up with like a really edgy host, or we're gonna bring in more performances or do whatever, but the ratings are still down. And that's because like the people who really love award shows probably make up a smaller percentage of your viewing audience.
It's very niche, and I think in this space we're in with social media, a lot of people watch the awards in the clips that your favorite blog or gossip site posted things. And I can't speak 1,000% for the Soul Train Awards, because I catch it when I catch it, and I usually catch it on the timeline, like a lot of people have.
Sure.
But the BET Hip Hop Awards, a thing that was very near and dear to my heart, like I watched it slowly devolve into where it's at right now. You would watch the awards, and they would literally give out 2, maybe 3 awards throughout the course of the night. It became more so about the performances, which, I guess, to your point, a lot of people don't care who wins what. They want to see their favorite artist on stage.
We've kind of seen a lot of these. Oh, that's the song that I've heard 100 times already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even like some of the biggest stars, if Jay-Z gets nominated for a BET Hip Hop Award, you ain't gonna see him go up there and accept it.
I'll throw this idea out at you, because this was something, Steve Holzer was his name. He was my old executive producer over there. And the example he used was the Tonys, right? The Tonys is like the Broadway Awards, right? And the Tonys used to be broadcast on television, but viewership just like people stopped watching on TV. And that's because the Tonys have a relatively niche audience, right? And so if you're trying to produce a award show and you want to get the widest amount of people together, you're not accurately serving that small section of people who really want to see the Tonys.
Like the Patti LuPones.
The Patti LuPones of the world. And so his whole thing was like, he thought, and I thought this was brilliant, that award shows needed to go pay-per-view.
So
because
you can sustain the economy that it costs to produce the show, and it's for the audience.
And you're also tailoring it to the exact person who's most passionate about it. Like, think about like UFC, right? UFC isn't for everybody, but it's all only pay-per-view. And so they build events just for the people who are willing to pay for them. And so if the BET Awards, Soul Train Awards, or the Tonys, whoever, were like, oh no, this is our pay-per-view, and this is what's going to be on it, pretty quick you'd know whether you wanted to buy that or not.
Yeah, that's a great business model and plan. And I know we gotta go to break, but before we go, one parting shot. As it relates to the BET Hip Hop Awards and their ciphers. For the last few years, these ciphers have been hot garbage truck juice.
Ooh.
You know, like the little liquid that drips off of the back of the garbage truck that you don't really quite know what it is or what it's comprised of. That has been the quality of the talent. Give or take a couple people who came, they understood the assignment, but most of it's been trash. We also saw this at the XXL freshman ciphers. People watched those to laugh, and they didn't even do it well last year. So do that. So with that being said, like anybody who took offense to that, I will gladly battle you here on this platform.
Show up on this stage
in front of a live studio audience, just because I am passionate about rap, and I hate the fact that people take it for a joke and don't really take it seriously and just like, oh, I'm just go up there and make some weird sounds and do a twerk dance, and then that's gonna make me go up. No, rap. Show up and rap. Have something to say when that microphone is on. It matters. That's it.
That's it. There we go. Toodaloo. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but after the break, Elijah Wright is joining us to talk career and being in the new Spike Lee joint, Highest to Lowest. All of that in 2 minutes. See you guys after the break.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late-night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in, because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. We have a guest in the building. He's in the highly anticipated Spike Lee directed movie Highest to Lowest, coming out August 15th. He's an actor and a recording artist, Elijah Wright. Welcome to Side Dish.
Hey.
Thanks for coming out. All right, kid. Now we're gonna get right into the trailer. Here is a snippet of Highest to Lowest.
King David, now ain't this something? I got your full attention now, huh? You finally listening to me.
Somebody's got Trey.
What do you mean somebody's got?
Somebody's kidnapped our son.
$17.5 million in an all-black Jordan backpack.
Try me if you think I'm playing. I ain't got.
Back out the trunk from the front. 11 a.m. board the 4 train going to money-making Manhattan.
You let him go, I make sure you set free.
It's too late for all that.
It's never too late.
You're not God no more. I am.
35 and I'm still a pretty guy.
I gotta feed the streets, my lady, and a newborn kid, and I ain't trying to go back and do another big dig.
I know what it is to risk everything you have for something that you want. I know what that means, to have nothing and want everything.
What is that?
Insurance. That's Jake from State Farm.
All right, tell us about the movie and your character, Kyle.
Yeah, so it's Highest to Lowest, based on the film by Akira Kurosawa, High and Low, and it's essentially, what happens is, in the original film, a shoe salesman, this really wealthy guy, he gets caught up in this scandal that basically happens when a kid gets put up for ransom, and gets kidnapped, and it turns out to what he thinks to be his son, you know? So it's basically a moral dilemma that he's facing where he has to figure out what to do, pay the money or not pay the money and potentially never see the kid again. But if he pays the money, he also may never see the kid again, because who knows what could happen, right? In our film, Denzel Washington plays the lead role. He is, instead of a shoe salesman, he's a music mogul.
Okay.
So yeah, so we incorporate the music industry into it, and so that's really kind of a cool theme that Spike brought into this. And then I play basically his godson. I don't want to give away too much about specifically my character, but I mean, if you've seen the original, you can put two and two together. But yeah, he gets caught up in circumstances that are beyond his control, my character, and things kind of unfold from that initial call from the kidnapper.
Got you. Like, let's just say, because I'm a cinephile, I like movies. Would I do myself a disservice if I watch the original first and then your joint, or should I watch your joint then the original?
Well, the original is like a classic film, and it's timeless in my opinion. Just like the themes of it, the class dynamics.
You said Kurosawa, right?
Akira Kurosawa, 1963, I believe. So I mean, it's a classic film, and it's like I don't even want to, because I feel like, I mean, you should just watch it in general, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like after.
I'm gonna support y'all first.
The mystery.
So the mystery is still there, you know what I mean?
Got you.
But the trailers do a great job of kind of like diverting the focus on what kind of goes down in the film. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
now you're in college right now, but this movie, you're in high school. Now, did you have to mentally rewind back into your high school energy, getting that teenage chaos mindset?
Yeah. I pitched my voice up a little bit, and yeah, it was a little. It's always interesting when you're playing like a character that's younger than you. Like 17, I was playing like 17, so. It was not too far from how old I am now, but yeah, it was a little bit.
And a lot of high school kids act like they're in college anyway, so like
yeah.
And vice versa.
Right.
Yeah.
So you play Jeffrey Wright's son in the movie, Kyle, and you're his son in real life. Now, were there ever moments where you were on set and the acting just stopped and the real parenting kicked in?
You know what? Actually, there was one time when we were on set, like we were about to. I think Denzel was like about to come into the scene, and he gave me like kind of like a few pointers. I'm like, okay, so this is a really important scene, just lock in, and you're in the hospital, and I'm like, Dad, the scene's about to start, like right. Denzel like rushes in. I'm like, okay, yeah, and I'm badly injured, okay. Yeah, be chill, be cool. But yeah, there were a couple times he gave me some notes, here and there and stuff, and it was very surreal, at times.
Like, I'm excited for you because, because I'm a huge Spike Lee film man. Like, anytime you see a Spike Lee joint, just to date myself, it's the equivalent of when you got a Nintendo game and it said Konami on it.
Oh,
if you saw Konami on it, this is quality.
Put that reference together, Konami.
I don't know that you will.
I like the Nintendo Switch though.
They might do some reissues for some of the games on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Like Gradius, Contra was a big one that Konami came up, down, left, right, B, A, B, A, start, the Konami code.
That's the old magic.
Old magic. Get straight to all 30 lives, man. It's crazy.
Of course, everybody who works for Spike has a Spike moment, which is like the moment when you realize, like, oh yeah, I'm working with a legend. What was yours? When was like that moment on set where you're like, oh?
I think there were several. I think even before we started shooting, we had like a table read, it was before the script was finalized. All the actors and producers and everyone who was working on the film. And during sort of like the third act of the film, there's a couple scenes with Rocky and Denzel. And I kid you not, they started like riffing. Like Denzel and A$AP just started riffing and just kind of freestyling dialogue and different ideas. And I was just sitting there like, damn. I've come far. I was watching this happen like live, and I was like, wow. And a lot of that, actually made it into the movie. A lot of yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I'm a fan of your dad's. I was a big Westworld fan, and so like I know you've kind of been raised a little bit in the entertainment industry, and then like getting an opportunity like this, did it hit you differently? Like, do you feel like this is like a whole sort of new level for you?
Yeah, I mean, I never would have expected that my, ushering into this business would be, my first film would be something of this scale. Really, genuinely, I've done like theater for years in school, and you know, that was my main focus for much of my childhood, was just doing plays and stuff. So I never would have imagined that this would be the first thing. You know, going on set, on my dad's sets when I was younger, and my mom's sets, was definitely somewhere I was like, you know, I think I could do this, and just kind of, it's like being demystified for me now, and as I get older. But yeah, you know, it's definitely, I'm so thankful, and just, you know, that spike.
That's got to be a hell of a feeling, you know, you're on stage and you got to play for the people in the back seats, and then just a short time later, Denzel walks in and you're like, I'm hurt.
Yeah,
I'm hurt in the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, yo, let's see some of that magic in real time, man. Here's a scene where you were in the hospital in the movie.
That's it, break. Let's just keep going, just a little more. Just keep trying, Kyle. Just. Sorry, I don't remember anything else. Okay, just a little more.
Detective, can he maybe have a little break?
Kyle, I know it's hard, but every second we're not out there looking for who did this, they're getting away.
Did you not hear me? How come when Trey needed the rest the other day, y'all were ready to tuck him in bed?
Now listen, I heard you, Mr. Christopher. Now, why don't you stop being a pain in my butt?
Well, good, you're in the hospital. They got ointments for that.
Well, maybe you need a preparation age.
No, fully prepared, brother.
Cal was right. Maybe we need to all take a break. Maybe.
Can my son have a minute with his father? Just him and me alone, please.
Man, your pop's cold in everything I've ever seen him in. Even going back to Shaft when he was Peoples Hernandez. When I found out he wasn't Dominican, my mind was blown. It's almost like finding out an actor is British.
I know,
playing a deep Baltimore accent. So what's going on in this scene without giving too much away?
Okay. Well, this is a little bit after the initial call that is received by David King, played by Denzel. So. When the kidnapping happens, and they've found me, you know, and they already found Aubrey's character, who's Denzel's son. So essentially, it's like, I don't want to, but I was the one who got kidnapped. So they kidnapped the wrong guy. So I'm in the hospital now, and I'm just, you know, trying to figure out, you know, what just happened and processing it. Really, the whole situation had nothing to do with me, you know. So I'm just kind of going through it, and this is, I believe, when Denzel comes in with information on, you know, how to find this guy, you know, and this is me just trying to say, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what happened, and you know, if I can even remember anything really. So that's kind of the situation.
Would you mind giving us just like, what was Spike Lee and Denzel's process like in that moment? Like, was that camera on? Did it stay on? Did we do it as a series? Did we get 10 takes? We get 2 takes. We get 10 takes. We do 20 takes. What do you remember the production being like on that day?
We did a few takes of that. I think, yeah, I would think it was several takes, and a few of them actually. When my dad says that line about, you know, he's asked like, you know, you're being a pain in my ass, and he's like, you know, you're in a hospital. There's ointments for that, right? That was improvised. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, that was an improvised line. So that was one of the takes that, you know, we were just, you know, there's often like specific things that need to be conveyed in the scene, but then there's leg room to sort of, you know, riff a little bit and stuff. So that was one of those instances where, you know, Spike's very open to that, you know, and Denzel was really like generous as an actor, and just. You know, he was open to seeing how it could come off more natural, and so, yeah, sometimes it's several. Yeah.
Very cool. Obviously, this movie's got Denzel, it's got A$AP Rocky, your dad. Who were you more nervous about impressing? Would it be like scenes with your father, or scenes with Denzel, scenes with A$AP?
I think, you know what? One of my first scenes is with Denzel. And I have to say, I only had a few lines in that scene, but I was up all night, just like going over those 4 or 5 lines, just like, I gotta go to bed. Like, this is like, and the scene went, you know, went well and everything. But it was that first moment was definitely very surreal, a little nerve-wracking, but you know.
Of course.
Yeah, but you know, it all worked out in the end. You know?
Super happy for you, man. And in addition to this movie, you're also building an R&B music career while making movies, which gives you more butterflies. You know, like going on set. You know, I mean, because you already work with Mount Rushmore on camera right now. I mean, that's solid. Or going into a booth or performing live.
I think recording music for me, it's a very freeing experience. You know, I think, you know, I'm not bound to the, you know, anyone else's like vision necessarily. You know, I can just go in there and just speak from the heart, and I make like soulful music, like R&B music, soulful music, pop music, just kind of fun stuff. I love collaborating with people, so it's definitely, I wouldn't say like nerve-wracking. I would say probably going on set and being in the same scene with like heavyweights and and legends, living legends.
Right.
Is definitely something that's a little more okay. You gotta be in your A game and stuff. But yeah, going in the studio, it is a sort of a mental gym, I would say, just to kind of, you know what I mean? So it's fun.
Is any of your joints on the soundtrack for the movie, or is there any music coming out down the pipeline?
Well, there's some music coming out down the line. Yes, there's like an album I've been working on for a while. So I just wanted to have a full body of like work that I really worked on for a long period of time, instead of just trying to put something out that was,
timed along with the
timing.
release.
Yeah. And so, but I think hopefully maybe could do a song with some of the like incredible artists who are on the soundtrack, because there's a whole album coming out with the film. So
very cool.
Hopefully like that down the line we'll see.
This is kind of a hard one because sometimes it's difficult to put yourself in the place of somebody completely different than you. But if you could swap roles with someone in the film, who would it be? Like, was there a role where you're like, oh, that's the juiciest role, or that would be the best role?
Wow, role, that's interesting. I think it'd be cool to play the king, Denzel's character. I remember there was one time on set where I walked in, because there was this really cool like set that was made to look like it was overlooking New York, this whole like house that you see in the trailer a little bit. And I remember like walking on set once and like I don't have any scenes in that house. And I remember like Denzel was like, "What are you doing here? You're not even in this scene." No, but I was like, I'm just checking out. I'm just gonna check it out.
I'm just checking out the set, Denzel. Come on.
No, yeah, but it'll be dope to like to do his character. Yeah, and to play around with that. I feel like we were talking. Me and him were talking about just different characters that we love to play, not even only in this film, just in general, like Shakespeare and stuff. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff.
I always wonder what just actors talk about on set, about the craft, other than what's going on. So it's dope to see somebody who like is fairly new in the business, coming in, and somebody who's been in it for a long time, still talking about when I grow up, I'm gonna write this role, like that. Yeah. Always keep the options open. So like, who gives you the cool uncle energy out of everybody in the cast between Denzel, Rocky, Spike, and also who's also most likely to sneak you into an after party?
Good question. I think Denzel gives good like cool uncle vibes. Like he's like the coolest uncle anyone could have. So I feel like he gives like good great advice, and he's really easy to talk to. And so I would probably say him. We had some pretty cool conversations. I would say Rocky's probably the guy who gets you into a party. We actually we partied at Cannes together.
Oh, word? Oh,
yeah,
was Rihanna there?
Rihanna was there. Yeah.
Did you get to talk to her?
Yeah, we talked a little bit. I remember I said something to her, and she was like, "You sound just like your father. You sound just like your father." Yeah. That way.
You're like, oh shoot.
I was like, oh. Man. But no, yeah, that was a crazy. The whole experience was crazy. But yeah, we were partying on a yacht in Cannes.
Was that your biggest pinch me moment?
Yeah, that was definitely one where I was like, okay, this is wild. Yeah, but yeah. So.
Yeah, yacht on a can. Add that to the list of things I want to get to do.
Hell yeah, you doing it all, baby.
Killing it. Elijah, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell everybody watching where they can keep up with you on socials and find your music.
Cool. Yeah, Elijah E. Wright is my Instagram. That's my Instagram where I drop a lot of information about new upcoming releases. So check that out. Check my Spotify out and Apple Music. Got some music coming out probably this year and definitely a lot next year. So look out for that. Got some singles coming out. It's gonna be good. So yeah.
Do it all, Mr. Renaissance Man. Be sure you check out Highest to Lowest, starring Elijah Wright, Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, A$AP Rocky, directed by the one and only Spike Lee. Run to the theater Friday, August 15th, and stream it on September 5th on Apple TV. And we will be back in 2 minutes.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College, first round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Welcome back. It's Friday, so it's time for
Photo Shoot Friday.
And you already know the vibes. This is where we rate and debate the best celeb photo shoots of the week. And let's kick it off with community actress and Dave Franco's wife, Allison Brie. Now, she's gracing the entertainment issue of Marie Claire.
Okay, this is a classy, what do we got here? A nice big, it looks like a leather shirt kind of thing going on.
And I can't tell like if that's like a long like thigh-high boot or if her pants are halfway off.
I
don't know what's happening here.
Those are thighs right there, right?
It definitely is thigh.
Okay, there we go.
She's not above showing it. Oh, that's what's up.
This is a quality photo shoot. Although upside down wheelbarrow, I did not see that coming.
Ah, yes, not in that form. Yes, yes, indeed. Well done. Well done. Yeah, man, like...
Oh, there's the boots. Now we can see the full boot on the right.
Okay, so it was boot and not pant halfway off.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Keeping it classy out here in these streets.
I do like the middle photo. Ladies, did you say Puss in Boots?
Our producers are insane.
I do. Can we pull that back up? Oh, you don't see many men pull this look off, but you definitely see her pull it off there in the middle one, where it's like elbow-length gloves, no pants.
Yeah, I don't think any guy has ever hit that pose. Maybe Ric Flair. No, not even. Not even.
Some wrestler somewhere.
Yeah. Gold Dust.
Gold Dust for sure.
Yeah,
that's another solid throwback. Okay, in the words of John Cena, you can't see me. The WWE star and actor shows he's more than a tough guy on this week's People magazine cover. There he is. Head over to people.com to read the full story and pick up your issue on newsstands this week. John, just, classic handsome guy. Musculars all get out.
He pulls it all off, man, and a dope human by all accounts.
That is,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you lead with that dope human energy, everything else is just like, yeah, whatever, we got your back. What are you trying to do? Got you.
Everything comes around. John's one of those dudes who it's like you don't see too many guys with a physicality like that, with a body like that, who's as good at comedy.
Yeah,
as he is.
I think sometimes when you're such a large guy, like you have to kind of do the self-deprecating things just to kind of, he's kind of like us, yeah. Because if he'd have been like just badass the whole entire time, they'd be like, all right, we get it, Brian.
We've seen this before. Yeah, exactly, Boz.
So man, big shout out to John Cena, who actually put on a hell of a wrestling match the other night against Cody Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
He ended up losing the title to Cody Rhodes, but he's on his victory lap, and that's kind of how you're supposed to do. You lose to put the next guy over. You know what I mean? So shout out to John Cena, and Peacemaker season 2 coming soon.
Oh, hey.
Next up, you got C Breezy. He got the ladies out here sipping out of his Breezy Bowl with this photo shoot for issue 99 of Icon magazine.
Breezy Bowl. That's a dope shot.
Very stylish. That could be an album cover.
That could be an album cover. I like solid art direction that you see on some of these. What's that second photo? Let's take a look at that one. Okay.
The fourth one is ill, as like artistic style-wise, like roses and a ski mask. And the juxtaposition of it all.
Yeah. I'm stealing your love.
Yo, man, and like he's one of those guys who, like when Chris Brown first dropped in the early to mid 2000s, right? Single digit 2000s, I would have never in a million years thought he would have still been out here doing what he's doing, especially when he hit that speed bump.
Right.
But he still just continued, he did his apology tour and continued to hit the studio and continue to work, man. So shout out to him. Ladies still love him.
It is hard to maintain any kind of career in Hollywood, let alone one as long as his has been, especially one where it's like he has had some setbacks.
Yeah,
as we might call him. He does have some competition, however. Tyson Beckford, look, we were talking about him now. Here he is in photo shoots again. He's looking for love and is showing us why he's more than the hottest man in the world on the cover of Us Weekly magazine.
Yeah, man, I don't know who his PR person is, but he needs to pay them double. Because we have talked about Tyson Beckford more in the last 2 to 3 weeks than I have in the last 15 years.
100%. I haven't talked about Tyson Beckford ever, I don't think. I don't know that ever in my entire career of like entertainment journalism or whatever you want to call this, have I been like, well, you know what Tyson Beckford has been up to? Never.
Because I guess he's mostly in a seen and not heard space.
Right.
So now you get to hear his stories. Like, I didn't even know he was Jamaican. I had no idea.
No idea.
So you told that story, he was riding around with the gun in his lap.
He had the pistol grip Mossberg in the back of his ride. Sir, you're dangerous. Slow down.
I didn't know these modeling streets were that treacherous.
I know.
All right, who you giving the crown on for the best photo shoot of the week? It'd have been great if we had a female here. Because like by default, like I'm kind of low-key running up for Alison Brie.
Yeah, like she's Alison Brie.
Sorry, Dr. Umar.
Yeah, I'm a big Alison Brie fan. I got to interview her one time. She's got those eyes that like look through you, and one of those like smiles where it's like, you know, those people who the smile almost comes too easy, and you're like, are you feeling me, or is this just how you are?
That's how you roll.
That's just how they are.
Nah, even going back to the days of Community, her and that other one.
Yeah.
Name escapes me, but. If you watch Community, you know what I'm talking about.
It would take me a minute. I do think the Chris Brown photo shoot, though, I feel like that photo shoot is the best so far out of this week. That opening shot of him in the car, like you said, could be an album cover. Like that, to me, that's a dope shot. That's the kind of shot where it's like, sometimes how I evaluate it for the guys is like, oh, would I swap places with that person immediately? And would I think, oh, I look cool there? And that would be one for sure.
Yeah.
The others, I think, favor him because he's tall and lean and he can get away with like more classic modeling.
Yeah, no, I mean, big up to art design too, because, Tyson kind of comes in with, kind of like how when dancers lose on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how to take pictures.
Right, yeah.
You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, when the pros lose on Dancing with their Stars, they're like, shucks, maybe next time. It's like, Tyson Beckford took a photo. Yeah, of course it was great. Genetic lottery. He won all of it.
So shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Who you rooting for? See, it's a mixed bag. Yeah.
Okay, keeping that same Freaky Friday energy, we got some flick picks for you if you're looking for something to watch this weekend. The Pickup, starring Eddie Murphy, Keke Palmer, and Pete Davidson, dropped this week on Amazon Prime. Let's take a quick look at the trailer.
You were supposed to retire? I'm moving on to a new career. You're pivoting this late? Well, how old do you think I am? Well, you're black, so you look 40, but you could be up to 90. Hey, yo, you seeing this? Pull over and you won't get hurt. We're gonna die. Calm down. Remember your training. Put your hands up! I took a 15-hour online course. What training? Oh, that's not good. Since you're gonna kill us, why don't you just show us who you are? Tell us your shoulders down! Yo, you better give me that money!
Oh,
I'm gonna throw up. You swallow that. If you throw up, you up. What is this? And who is they?
Change of plans. You two are gonna help me steal $60 million
that
from
beast
the
mode?
casino.
Yeah, they throwing them in everything.
Your wife's dead.
If you let us go, I'll let you bang my twin sister. She looks like me with long hair. You trying to get us shot?
That checked 2 boxes that I prefer for certain films. Eddie Murphy, and he had a gun.
Eddie Murphy, movies with guns. Also, I like villain Keke Palmer.
I didn't see that coming.
With the gun. Yeah.
And I like Pete Davidson and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't see that movie that we dropped the trailer for a couple weeks ago because by the time I like rethought about it to go to the theater to see it, it was gone.
Yeah.
Like someone stole the movie.
Yeah.
Moving on, also hitting theaters tonight is Freakier Friday, the long-awaited sequel to the 2003 movie Freaky Friday, starring Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. You kind of know what it is. People switch roles. The adult's the child, the child's the adult, and there's a third person involved now too. That's the story.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. I just like that we're getting a sequel 20 years later. Yeah. Like, that means we still got Jamie Lee Curtis and we still got Lindsay Lohan, and they both get along well enough, and they're still doing good enough at life that they can come back and do that. Because you don't see that all the time.
Yeah, like sometimes somebody will die off and be like, oh, can't do the sequel now.
Yeah.
You know, and so you go out there and support that if that's your thing.
Let us know. Let us know which one you're going to go see. All right, we're going to be back with more Side Dish after the break.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 9:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And you interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late-night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like, it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Content creator Stephen Mouse is out here using his editing skills to create miracles when it comes to people's bad mug shots. Check this out.
Let's start with Beavis. He looked like he got that remote cat. So the first thing I gotta do is try to clear his face up and try to make him look more presentable. Now I fixed most of his face, but his
that's
head,
a 6-head.
Bro's Nightmares are a horror movie. I tried to make him fat to make it fit, but he didn't look right. So I worked on his tan, worked on his skin, gave him a little bit of glow. Then I worked on his hair. But I just knew that I could find one style that was gonna fit. Then boom, Bieber City. I'm sure he could pull off a reboot of 90210, but the dark hair is magic. But we need some facial hair. And then fix his little smile. Now you look a little creepy, bro. The shades aren't gonna do it because they look like midget sunglasses. And there we go, Jake from Progressive. He looked like that guy at work that does Taekwondo. But this is before, and this is after the makeover. I did good. Ah! Girl just seen something she cannot unsee. So first we start off by smoothing her face up, changing her hairstyle, no. Then boom, Oprah Whitney Houston. I tried to work on her face, gave her some dimples, didn't like the dimples. I worked on her eyebrow, worked on her smile, but she looked like a stalker. Now she looked like she found her stalker. But I shortened up the smile a little bit to make it a little more presentable. There we go. I don't know if we can fix the creepiness. Let's give her some sunglasses. They're cool, but these are better. Now you look like a freaky church girl. You want to go to the restroom? Well, this is before and this is after. Let me know in the comments which one you would sit by at church. And as always, like and follow for more.
Yeah, like there wasn't much he could do with the second one.
Yo, I don't know what that woman was arrested for, but she did it.
That was
also the first guy. This man's trying to do the Lord's work here, but also like both of those people, those are bad mugshots.
His work was cut out for him. Shout out to Beavis.
It's sort of a strange thing to think like I'm gonna play makeup with people I don't know who are in jail. Makeovers.
That's a person that has a lot of time on their hands, more than I do.
Yeah, I don't have enough time.
Hey, man, speaking of time, we got to go to break, man. When we come back in 2 minutes, we hitting y'all with everybody's favorite game, Whose Cousin Is It?
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late-night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back. All right, it's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it? All right, here we go. Alexa, play Nothing Beats a Jet 2 Holiday. All right, a dentist and an engineer walked into a luxury store at the airport, but left in cuffs. So a 35-year-old American dentist and his engineer wife, 30, got caught boosting bougie goods at the airport in notoriously strict Singapore, of all places. What were you thinking?
Now, instead of grabbing Starbucks before boarding like normal travelers, the bargain version of Bonnie and Clyde went terminal hopping and nabbed $750 worth of designer items from Louis Vuitton, Dior, and more.
Okay, and get this, the grab and dash duo actually made it on the plane. They made it all the way to the plane, which was headed to Mumbai. Seats and stolen goods secured, but not so fast. After reviewing the CCTV, the closed caption television, authorities went full, not on my watch. They clocked these two kleptos with the quickness and snatched them off like oversized carry-ons.
But like Mumbai. Now the designer swiping dentist got slapped with an 18-day jail sentence while his engineer wifey spent a week behind bars. All right, y'all, whose cousin is it?
Yeah, right? What, you feel strongly?
I feel very strongly about that.
Okay.
There was so many things that made it feel like not my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ran into too many people like me. It was like, yo, Crack, I just got back from Singapore.
Right.
Yeah, like, yeah, we're not going there.
Mm-hmm. But we did say American.
Yep.
And he's a dentist, she's an engineer.
Uh-huh.
They're traveling in Singapore, and they were stealing.
And a sad fact, and it's such a sad fact.
Yeah.
It's not often that a black dentist will meet his black engineer wife and marry them. Like, these are things of Cosby level.
Yeah.
The doctor and lawyer.
Cosby.
I mean, I know it exists, but you know, we got to sift through it. You know, like I used to date a girl who was in Jack and Jill, and I'm sure she'd probably married a dentist.
Oh, okay.
But a white one probably.
Yo, my dentist here in Atlanta is hot, and she's black.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you go to Dr. Tiffany Bell?
Wait, is she the one over here by the Target?
No.
Oh. I get checkups like every 2 weeks. I'm kidding.
We're on the same insurance. Do they cover that?
I don't brush my teeth just so I stay in the chair longer. I'm like, come on, girl. I do feel like this could be my cousin. There's a part of me that wonders if it's other cousin, because I feel like my cousins well remembered the kid who got caned over there.
Right. But we remember that too.
Yeah.
Because like we covered that heavy, so like it's kind of off limits.
I do feel like mine. I do feel like it could be other, but it's a couple, so it could be mixed.
Yeah, it could be 1 and 1. I'm gonna jump out the window and say, you know what? I'm gonna say one Tanner cousin, one other cousin.
I'm with you. One me, one other. You ready to do it?
Home team, away team. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Move that van.
Surprise, surprise.
Other. Kapadia, who's Hussein Soher and Kapadia Amatullah.
From hurry up and buy to hurry up and steal.
Yo, hurry up and buy.
Wow.
Come on, y'all, why?
So it's 50%.
Why would you do this?
And, statistically, those occupations,
Dentist, engineer, I see it. Yeah, the cultural pressures there. The parents might have connected.
Building teeth at home.
That's right. They were definitely.
Well, thank y'all so much for pulling up on us on this beautiful Friday, second half of 48-Hour Friday. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Please show you share and tell others we out here.
Also, go support Highest to Lowest. Elijah, what a great young man to come here on our show. And obviously, he's got big things coming for him. And be sure to check out his new music when that gets ready to drop.
And support gun-toting Eddie Murphy and Keke Palmer as well.
That's right. Support Keke and support my beautiful dentist. Okay. All right. Have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Hey, what's up, all our scrollers out there? Welcome to another great episode of Scrolling with Jen and V. I'm your girl, Jen, of course, and this is
V Greasy.
All right. You better sing that, girl. It's good. You're looking good, V.
Oh, thank you. You're are too,
good.
friend. You
Cheers.
are too. Cheers.
We have our bevy of the night,
Woo-hoo.
and it is on our social media, on our Instagram. And look, we called this the Whack Berry Smack, V. Right there. Now y'all know.
Hey, it's also delicious.
It is. It's very good. That vodka is hidden.
Hidden. Yes, friend.
All right. So we have a new episode for you all. And
Yes.
some great segments ahead.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Woo, woo, woo,
and
woo.
V, what is